Hey guys, my name is Emily and I am currently in the delayed entry program for the Navy. I DEP'd in about June 6th of 2015 and it is currently December 27th of 2015 and I am set to leave for boot camp on January 6th of next year. So right now it's about 9 days until I leave. Since I've been in DEP for about 7 months now, I've had a lot of questions come up that I'm curious to know, and I've done my research on other people's YouTube channels. Some of them have been answered, some haven't, so I decided to go ahead and make my own channel, so hopefully I can answer any questions that you guys might have throughout the DEP process and after boot camp. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to be going ahead and keeping a journal when I'm at boot camp, or I'm going to try to. Hopefully I have time to do that. And that way when I get out I can make some more videos and go over everything that I learned and hopefully give you some insight that might help you when you're going through your process. But obviously over the years these videos will be out of date, so there's always new things and everything's changing. One of the biggest questions, and I guess you could say problems, that I had about joining the military was tattoos. They're pretty lenient about their tattoos, but they don't like them to be on your fingers, your hands, and on your face and on the back of your neck, which I actually have a tattoo that is on my upper back and goes up on the back of my neck past my C7, so that was a little bit of a problem. I had to get a waiver. It's covered in an open collar shirt, but in the PT t-shirt it's not covered, so that's why I needed the waiver. But it took probably about a month longer than what I wanted it to be able to sign my contract because of that tattoo. So just beware, if you don't have tattoos and you are trying to join the military, I would recommend waiting until after boot camp, because anyways, once you sign your contract, you will have to wait. You'll sign a form. So if you get one while you're in the DEP program and you don't tell them, or if you get one and you do tell them, there is a very good chance you might get delayed or might not be able to go. When I signed my contract, I signed it for Corpsman, which is the medical field, and that was actually my top choice, which is why I've been in the program so long, because I got what I wanted, so I had to wait a little bit longer. Corpsman's pretty hard to get into because it's so popular and the wait time is a lot longer than other stuff. When signing your contract and picking a job that you want to do, I would recommend picking something you want to do and not just jumping into it and trying to leave as fast as you can, because you will be stuck with that job for 3 to 4 years or however long your contract is, and you're going to be going through the training, so you might as well try and go with something you want or something you like or are interested in. Obviously, if you just want to leave right away, do what you want, but I recommend trying to do something you want to do, because I mean it'll help you out later in your career down the road when you're out of the military. So now, to pick a job you want, you have to take the ASVAB, and you have to go to MEPS, and you have to do a physical. Let me tell you, I didn't really study for the ASVAB. I mean, I probably studied about a week, but some people get the books. You can get them at Barnes & Noble or a bookstore, and they're like an ASVAB test, practice test, and prep guide. I personally didn't do that. I scored, I think it was like a 52 on the ASVAB, so that isn't a very good score, I guess you could say, but I was able to pick any job that I wanted to do because of how high my score was, so I got what I needed to do. But like I said, if you want to try and prep for the ASVAB, it's a pretty long test. There's a lot of questions on it. Process for taking the ASVAB and doing the physical for me, what I did is one day I went to MEPS and they had me go into a room and take the ASVAB. It was all on the computer, so it's not handwritten. They do give you like a piece of paper and pencil to write on, like scrap paper, but all your answers are on the computer. It's timed. You can't go back and question, so once you answer one, you have to keep going. You can't go back. So after I took that, they sat us down and I think we had lunch, and then they waited for everyone else to finish their test. Because they take a big group of us back to the hotel on the bus, and they put you up in a hotel for the night. You don't pay for it or anything, it's all them. My hotel was attached to a Fridays, so we had a food voucher that night for dinner at Fridays, and we had some free time to do whatever we wanted, like walk around. There was like a gym up in there. We had a whole floor kind of to ourselves. There was a room where you can go and play video games and stuff, and you just had to be back in your room by a certain time. And then the next morning they woke you up. I think we had to get up at 4:35 in the morning, and they took us down to breakfast again at Fridays. They had a food voucher for that too, and we all ate together, everyone who was going through the testing, and some people were actually even shipping that morning. After we ate, then they took whoever was going to do their physical, they took us on a bus back to MEPS, and then whoever was shipping went on a different bus to the airport. But once we got to MEPS, we had to go through and do all our eye tests, hearing tests, talk to doctors and psychologists to make sure we are healthy and not psycho, I guess you could say. And we also had to do a bunch, like a physical, what you do in a physical. We had to do the duck walk, do a bunch of random weird looking arm waves and make sure all our joints are okay. The duck walk was annoying, but it's simple, easy to do. Let me tell you, the depth perception test, I failed that. You don't necessarily need to pass it to be able to go into the military, but if you're going for a job that you need that kind of ability for, you want to pass it. But the doctor, they don't really tell you how to do it right. I mean, you can ask them again, and I did, but it's just, I don't know. Even people warned us, like they warned us that it was hard and you usually fail that, I guess, so. Yeah, maybe that's something you want to try to look into. After the physical and everything, they sat us down and gave us lunch again. I think that day we had subs or whatever. And then we just had to wait for the results. You sit and wait, and they give them to you that day. And then they let you know if you pass. And then I actually went after I found out that I passed that. I went and I sat down with a chief. And we looked at the availability for jobs and everything, and that's when I picked what job I wanted to do, and I got my ship date, and I signed my contract, and I swore in that night also. That was in June. After I swore in, my recruiter came and picked me up and brought me back to his office where I had my car parked, and then I left from there. Being in the delayed entry program, you have to keep in contact with your recruiter. I have to text him or call him every Monday of every week until I leave. Once a month they have DEP meetings where everyone who is in the DEP pool gets together and we go over a subject in our start guide. And then besides that DEP meeting, we have to go into the recruiting office one other time. So you have 2 face-to-faces with the recruiter every month. You fill out your research every time you go in the office. They keep track to know that you are well and alive and not pregnant or anything like that, or sick. That's pretty much what the delayed entry program is like. If you have any questions or have things you are interested in knowing that I might know, feel free to comment and ask me anything and I'll try to answer them. And like I said, I'm going to be making more videos after boot camp. I might even make one the day I'm at the airport or going to the airport to ship, so yeah, let me know.